Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some more news on the Coach Prime Colorado Buffaloes front as they continue to heat up on the recruiting trail, this time not in the transfer portal. And a lot of our discussions about Coach Prime and recruiting have been based in the transfer portal. Now he's turned his attention to this 2024 class, and this weekend landed three very impressive commitments. And I use the word impressive because he goes up against Florida Gators, Michigan, I believe Auburn was in on a kid like Micah Welch, and lands commitments for three prospects who were heavily recruited by some of the blue blood top five, Power 5 programs. And this is just a little bit of what's to come with why Coach Prime is in Colorado. Colorado is not used to winning these recruiting battles. Quite frankly, they're not even used to being in these recruiting battles for some of these top prospects out of high school. And now they're starting to be in these battles, and now they're starting to win some of these battles. And that's the first step into rebuilding this Colorado football program. Now, before we get into what Coach Prime has been doing to rebuild this program, I just want to say thank you to you guys. The support following Coach Prime, whether you're a college football fan, whether you're a Colorado fan, y'all know I've had a blast talking about it. It's been something that we haven't really seen before. I've had a blast. You guys have been just absolutely awesome with all the support. So if you do enjoy the content, you enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate all the support you guys have shown. And without further ado, let's get into a little bit of what Coach Prime is doing, and then we'll talk about the specific players that they got this weekend. I think what Coach Prime is doing, you saw a lot of the haters say Coach Prime can't recruit out of the high school ranks. That's blatantly not true. But I think what was happening in the spring was he focused a lot of his attention on the transfer portal. Why did he do that? Because he knew that in order to build the 2024 class, build a 2025 class, the product on the field in 2023 had to change, right? It's going to be tough sledding to get top national recruits to come to Colorado if this program doesn't show meaningful strides in 2023 coming out of a dreadful 2022 season. And so how do you do that? What did Lincoln Riley do at USC? What is Hugh Freeze doing at Auburn right now? You're able to go to the transfer portal and make this team meaningfully better in less than 6 months by getting proven talent who've already played at the college football level to come and join your roster and win games in 2023. This was not something you really could do 5 years ago with all the transfer portal regulations and just the limited talent. I mean, you take a look at the transfer portal this year, so talented, and Coach Prime grabbed a lot of talented players where it's hard to argue that this Colorado team in 2023, whether you think they go 8-4, 6-6, 5-7, it's going to show meaningful improvement because the athleticism. I mean, this team is going to be bigger, faster, and more athletic. And so it's just hard not to see this Colorado football program being significantly better than it was in 2022. And so now with the transfer portal wrapping up, and I think Coach Prime feeling pretty good about where his roster stands heading into 2023, now it's time to focus on getting this top talent out from the high school ranks. And that is exactly what he did this weekend, holding an official visit weekend. And it's crazy when these guys get to campus, like, it is rare that a guy visits Colorado and doesn't leave committed to Coach Prime and Deion Sanders. A very, I don't blame him. One of the most charismatic guys we see in college football. I think the energy for a lot of these guys who've talked about their experience is infectious. I want to get into the recruits that they pulled, and let's start with Brandon Davis-Swain, who, again, when I use the word impressive, I mean impressive because you take a look at, not only is he a top 200 player nationally, he is a guy that, I mean, Michigan, right in Michigan's backyard, Michigan pulled really high. As a Michigan fan, I know we wanted this kid bad. And Coach Prime gets him out on an official visit, and he leaves committed to Coach Prime. And another thing that you've seen a lot, this narrative of Coach Prime can only get the skilled players, right? The wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the cornerbacks. Guess what? He's starting to build the trenches as well. And Brandon Davis-Swain, a big body edge guy who has a ton of power in his hands and some good burst and bend around the edge. But what this guy does especially well is he can go right through tackles. I mean, a very big body with strong hands. And then this one was a big one. I mean, Michigan, Penn State were the two other ones you're battling for. This kid is from the Great Lakes area, and you get him out and committed to Colorado. Very impressive win. The next guy up, Zycarl Lewis, who, again, from the state of Florida, Tampa, Florida Gators were going after this guy hard. And you know the Florida Gators have put a priority on getting wide receivers into their program Coach Prime, with the connections to the state of Florida, able to go and get Zycarl Lewis, who 5'10", 160, runs an 11-second 100-meter dash. So he has speed, but when you watch his film, when you watch his highlights, what's special about him is the movement skills. Like the straight line speed, that's good. But what is really special is his ability to make people miss, the movement skills, and creating separation in his routes. This guy has a ton of juice when it comes to being in space. And then the last guy, you go down and from to the state of Georgia, a guy that a lot of these SEC programs wanted in Micah Welch commits to Colorado. I mean, you're seeing him go up into the Midwest, Ohio State, Michigan area and land a top defensive line commit. You see him go down to the state of Florida and lands like Zycarl Lewis, who the Gators and Florida State were after. And then you go to SEC territory in the state of Georgia and land a running back in Micah Welch. Coach Prime's not only recruiting out west, he's also going into SEC territory. He's also going into the Midwest and the Michigan, Ohio State territory and landing some of this top talent. Again, 3 really impressive players. But I think what's more impressive is that he's going up against these top Power 5 programs, going toe-to-toe with them. And this is a program in Colorado that a lot of Colorado fans aren't even used to being in these recruiting battles. And now they're in these recruiting battles of these top recruits in the country. And then in a lot of cases, winning these battles. And so you think, and you kind of, if you think about this in the future, right? I don't think a lot of Colorado fans would say this isn't a one-year rebuild. Like I am confident that this Colorado program will be significantly better in 2023. I don't think a ton of Colorado fans are saying this is a college football playoff team. This is a national championship team. That being said, what you're optimistic about is say you win 6 games, 7 games in 2023. And then a lot of these top recruits in the 2024 class are saying, hey, I wanted to go to play for Colorado. I just didn't know if I wanted to commit to a team that was 1-11 in 2022. Now you're seeing meaningful improvement. Say, hey, this is a place that if I commit to Colorado, not only am I getting coached up by one of the best defensive back coaches in history, and he's assembled a very good staff around him, but I'm also going to be part of something that could be really special, right? In terms of, okay, you win 6 games in 2023, then you win 9 games in 2024, and you're talking about 2025 season. If he kind of continues this trend on the recruiting trail as a potential national championship contender team, this is how quick it could move for Colorado if they continue to get talent into this program. Now, I think this 2023 season, and we've said this a lot, it's big because what we said is if you want to get these top kids in the 2024 class committed to Colorado and not just be interested in Colorado, I think you need to show them that this program is going in the right direction. And I think that's why he addressed the transfer portal so heavily and say, hey, we need to revamp this roster pretty much entirely. And if you see some success in 2023, the closing to this 2024 class and what this 2025 class could be, I really do think could be special. So if you're a Colorado fan, I think you have to be not only excited to just watch a fun team with a ton of talent in 2023, but the future of this program, if they can start winning some games and turning some heads in 2023, could be really special. I think that's kind of what the in a perfect world, that's what this rebuild looks like for Colorado. But again, it's really nice to see for Colorado fans, Coach Prime going to the high school ranks and landing some top caliber kids against top Power 5 teams of the likes of Michigan, Florida, Florida State. Appreciate you guys checking the fellas out again. Wanted to hop on and just give you guys some updates, some of my thoughts on what Coach Prime is doing in Colorado. You guys have been absolutely awesome with the support. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.